Welcome to East Alabama Today, featuring topics, events, and interesting people from all over East Alabama. Hosted by Carl Brady. Now, let's get right to the show. Here's Carl Brady.
Hello, everyone. Welcome into East Alabama Today. I'm Carl Brady. Thanks for being with us on our program today. As always, we want to start you off with some contact information, let you know what's going on with the program and how you can get in touch with us if you have an idea for the show. We want to hear from you. The best thing to do is send me an email, cbrady@tv24.tv. Fairs, festivals, special events, things that are going on with your community organization, your church, all kinds of things that are happening around the 9-county coverage area here on East Alabama Today. And if you have something happening and you want us to know about it, the best way to do that is to send me an email. Again, cbrady@tv24.tv. And we also want to know about the interesting people who live in your community. Maybe you know someone who's a writer, an artist, or a musician. Maybe they have an odd or an interesting hobby and you think they'd be a great guest for the show. Those are exactly the kind of folks that we are looking for. So send me their information at cbrady@tv24.tv. And don't forget, if you happen to miss a show, you can always go back and watch them on demand online at tv24.tv. Just check it out. Go to tv24.tv, click on the on-demand section, and go down to find East Alabama Today, and you'll see a whole series of East Alabama Today shows that you could enjoy on your computer at your convenience. We'll be back in just a moment to get started with today's show, so be sure to hang out with us. Welcome back into East Alabama Today. Again, I'm Carl Brady. Thank you for joining us on the program. Today we're going to be talking about the Gadsden-Etowah Habitat for Humanity, and happy to introduce you to the new Executive Director, Tami Brooks. Tami, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
And welcome to Habitat for Humanity as well, a new position for you. And so you're just jumping in with both feet to learn all about the organization, huh?
Trying to. You know, Habitat for Humanity is an organization that I think is wonderful anyway, and I've known about them, so I'm really pleased to have this position and like you said, jump in with both of you, get started.
It's a great organization to be a part of. You're really doing some good work in the community to provide affordable housing to people who otherwise have been living in some cases, some horrible conditions.
It's always substandard housing, and it's a path to homeownership that's available for people that might not otherwise have been able to do that. I know that you know a lot about the organization, and one of the things, if people can't qualify for conventional financing, we have programs with 0% interest, which is amazing. So it makes it, of course, way more affordable. We have not as strict a criteria as far as the conventional banks and mortgages. So it's a way for some people to get into a home where they never would be able to otherwise.
Right. You're not giving people homes.
No.
You are providing them with affordable housing, and
Correct.
You are selling them the house.
We are selling
and
them.
most of the time totally interest-free and at a reduced cost, because the work has been volunteer. A lot of the materials have been donated. So it's a way for people, you have to come from substandard housing. And when you talk about substandard housing, there are people in this community who are truly living in substandard housing in places that most people would not consider to be livable.
You're exactly right. And substandard can mean a lot of different things. There's structural problems with the house, or a roof that's beyond economical repair. Overcrowding. We have, you hear about people that are living 3 and 4 to a bedroom and that kind of thing. So you don't really think this goes on in your community, but it does, sadly. So we would like to give these people a hand up and a way out of these situations. And something you said earlier, a lot of people think, they give them a free house. And that, like you said, couldn't be further from the truth. We do offer them affordable housing in a way out of that situation, but they have to do a lot of stuff.
That's right. They have sweat equity hours they have to work too. Yeah.
We require our partner families to do 300 hours of sweat equity. So what that means is they can work on their home, they can work on other people's houses, or volunteer in the office, whatever their skill set might be. But that's 300 hours that has to go towards their home in sweat equity. They also have to agree to take partnership classes. They take a partnership class a month. And in those classes, we try to teach them, we have different people in the community that teach the classes. We teach them how to budget, basic home care, all different kinds of things, how to read a credit report, how to make your FICO score better.
Yeah.
So really trying to break the cycle of poverty. You know, there's a lot of financial illiteracy out there throughout all the population. So we're trying to help on all those levels. And they do a family focus in addition to the family partnership. They come in once a month for a family focus where you go over their budget with them and, you know, teach them and help them get on track. They do save a small down payment, which is $600, and then they'll have to have $1,000 towards their first year escrow costs. We do the taxes and insurance. So there's a lot to it. I know we just did a groundbreaking the other day, and the homeowner was there, and she said, "Oh no, they didn't give it to me." but she's proud of what she's done, and that way people get invested in the program. They get invested in their home and their community.
Well, there is pride.
It's a win-win.
There is pride in home ownership.
There is,
and having, I think there's an additional level of pride because you're getting a new home usually in a nice neighborhood. It's well done, well taken care of, and the homeowners I have met over the years are just extremely happy and proud that they've taken place in the program.
They are. It's a great program all the way around. It's just a win-win for everybody, and a lot of them go on to continue to volunteer even after their sweat equity is over with and help other people. You know, I've had people say, they helped me, so now I want to help them.
Right.
So that whole pay it forward thing, it's really cool.
It is. You mentioned the groundbreaking you guys had last week. How many houses is that now? What house number do you remember?
That is 48. That's
48, I thought so, yeah.
48, and we've got another family in the pipeline for 49. So we're closing in on 50. I think we need to do something really big for the 50th one. I don't know what.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Some kind
50
of
houses is amazing.
special party. That is really a big deal. And there is a lot of people in the community who have played a major role in making this organization work as well as it has.
That is for sure. Now we have all kinds of partnerships, and first off, the Scharfenbergs, who you have talked with, Suzanne, who you've talked with many times. You know, they started this affiliate 20 years ago, and they've done an amazing job. They've certainly made my job easier. It's very organized and everything's all set. But you know, there's volunteers throughout the community over the 20 years, and they could give you a list, I'm sure, that goes from here to the ceiling. But you know, all the labor is volunteer.
Yeah.
So, and the office work, Steve and Suzanne were volunteers, and they volunteered their time for 20 years. So it's incredible the partnerships they have with businesses, individuals, all kinds of people.
And there's always somebody available to sponsor the work on the homes, because there is some cost involved. Sometimes you can't get all the materials donated, so you have to buy the materials or those kind of things. And there are some things that have to be done by paid licensed professionals.
There are.
You know, it can't be done by volunteers. So there is monetary support needed, but there's always somebody to sponsor those houses. Local churches, local businesses, other civic organizations that step in and help out with the sponsorships.
We do. We've been very lucky. And also, all of the mortgage payments for all the houses come back to us, to our affiliate. And so those funds go into the Fund for Humanity. And those funds are used to build more houses for other people. So there's that money that comes in and can go out for those things. Because like you said, electrical, plumbing, these things all have to be done by licensed people and that kind of thing. Although a lot of them do it maybe a little bit cheaper or at cost.
Right,
you know,
right.
It's a whole great partnership, but we have had great support throughout the years.
You know, my favorite event is, and they've been doing it a little bit differently lately, but when they first started doing the Home Builders Association Blitz Builds, and I was involved in a couple of those from the radio stations I was working with, and they would literally build the house in one day. And now they'll call it's a blitz build, and they'll do it over 3 or 4 days now.
Yeah.
But literally in one day, they would get there at daybreak. They would start with a foundation already in place, and by the time they stopped at dark, the sheetrock was up, the mudding was done, and they were just waiting for it to dry to sand it and paint it the next day.
That's crazy, isn't it?
It is absolutely amazing to see all those different trades working together at the same time, and it's like hundreds of little ants all over the house, and it's just amazing to watch it go up so fast.
Now, something cool we're doing on this house, the last house was a blitz build. I got here right after they were all done with that. So this house that we broke ground on, I told the homeowner, I said, this is, you and I are going through this together. This is my first one. So on November 6th, Alabama Power Service Organization, APSO, is going to do, it's not a blitz build, but they will raise the walls and the roof, hopefully in one day. The footings and the foundation will all be there, but on November 6th, they'll get as far as they can get. All the walls will be done, and the roof, the trusses, and of course it depends on the weather and that kind of thing, but they are doing that one-day build. So it's not the whole house, but it should be pretty fun. And we're going to try and get some time-lapse video. Wouldn't that be fun?
Time-lapse works really well
for that.
Wouldn't
that be fun? Yeah.
We need to take a commercial break, so let's do that right now. And we'll come back in just a moment and talk more about the Gadsden-Etowah Habitat for Humanity. Welcome back into East Alabama. Today we're talking with Tami Brooks, the new executive director of the Gadsden-Etowah Habitat for Humanity. House number 48 we were talking about, getting close to that 50 mark.
We are.
It's amazing how this just keeps flowing and how it just keeps going from one house to the next. How do people get involved in becoming a Habitat homeowner? I know you have an open enrollment period going on right now for people to apply. So talk about that application and what they need to do.
So once or twice a year, they'll do the application period. Right now, it's going on through October 15th. You can simply get a pre-screening application form. It's one page, fairly easy to fill out. We'll send out a brochure with the criteria. There's certain things, income requirements, that's 25 to 60% of the median income, but it's all on the application form. You need to be a resident of Etowah County for a year. You can get that on our website. You can print it off there. If you don't have access, you can give us a call. We'll mail it out to you. I've actually been out and about this morning putting it in places that I thought people would maybe find them, because we really want to get the word out to all the people who could potentially be a homeowner. A lot of people find out about it word of mouth. But we also have, if you come out to our office, if we're not there, there's a little box right by the door with applications in it. So
very easy to find.
Very easy to find, yeah.
Absolutely. There's the phone number you see there that you can call, and the office address there on Rainbow Drive, where you can stop by and pick up an application. And then once they do the initial application, you guys will go through those, pick the ones that qualify from that.
Correct.
And then you have further meetings with the families. And there will be paperwork and information they'll have to bring, Social Security and income information and all those kind of things.
Once we get through the pre-screening applications, then there'll be an orientation, and at that time the families will be invited in, and they'll have to bring, like you said, a list of paperwork. There's always a lot of paperwork. And then we kind of go from there. We do credit reports from there, and the process goes on. There's a couple home visits where a couple people on our family selection committee will go out and visit the home, because like I said, we talked about it, substandard housing, so they need to go out and look at the house. And then once we get all of that information gathered, then recommendations will be made to the board for potential families to enter into our pipeline, and they'll vote on it. And then off we go.
And then you're still, even at that point, you're not left alone to fend for yourself.
No.
You are assigned an advocate from the volunteers who has been through this, who understands the process, and they will work with the family and the homeowner very closely every step of the way to make sure that they know exactly where things stand and how things are working. Exactly.
We don't leave you all alone. We're very, very involved. Because we have so many volunteers and such a wide network. For example, one of our families right now, whom we just broke house on number 48, she's got her grandchildren living with her and was looking for a tutor. Well, we have volunteers that were interested in tutoring children, so we went ahead and connected those people. So we're with you the whole way. And it's a fairly long process. I think another myth that, aside from the we're giving away a house, is that you apply and then tomorrow you have a home, and that's just not true.
It takes a while. It's a little process.
It can take up to 12 to 24 months by the time it's all said and done. So it's a process, but well worth it. I think everybody would agree.
Absolutely. Talk about the homes a little bit, and since you're new as the executive director, you may not know much more about this than I do yet, but some of the homes recently have had a special energy efficiency certification from Alabama Power. Is that happening with every home, or just whenever it works out to do that? Or
I'm not entirely sure. I have seen that certification, and I don't know if it's going to be on every home from now on. It's something to check into. Alabama Power, it works very closely with us, so if it's something that we need to do, I'm sure we will be doing it. I know that they have done it in the past.
And the point of that, too, there are several different points of that. Energy efficiency is always important. Clean energy and being energy efficient is important, but it's an additional asset for the homeowner as well, because the power bills from these energy efficient certified homes are incredibly low, and much less than your average home.
Right.
So it's another financial advantage for the homeowners when they come into these homes.
It is, yeah.
The volunteers who do this work, how do you become a volunteer? How do you help out? If you have some carpentry skills or HVAC skills, or maybe if you just want to help rake the yard and get the landscaping done.
Or even no skills. Once again, kind of the same information for the application. You can certainly go to our website. There's a How Can I Help button. Click on it. There's a volunteer package that it's a couple forms. We have to have a waiver from everybody, and then a volunteer form. And on that form, you can say what your interests are. So, if you have carpentry skills, these different things. But I don't want that to preclude people, because some people think, well, I don't know how to do anything like that. I can't volunteer. Yes, you can. If you want to work on a site, anybody can clean up the site. Anybody can hold lumber while they're sawing it. There are things that you can do, and they'll teach you how to do stuff. A friend of mine told me the other day, she said, I learned how to put vinyl siding on a house over there. She's got some skills, so they'll teach you how to do some of the things. Also, we need help in the office sometimes. We've got a newsletter coming out this week, so we have 2,500 newsletters that need to be folded and stapled and sorted and that kind of thing. So there's always something you can do. And we do have the Dragon Boat Festival every year. And that's another event that requires quite a few volunteers.
I want to talk about that a little bit more before we go, but property and things like that. You guys have had a partnership with the city of Gadsden to develop the Adams Park area over in East Gadsden. And you guys have built a whole series, just a beautiful little neighborhood there.
It's really cool,
with all different colors, and it's a nice little friendly neighborhood with a park right in the middle.
And a walking track.
And a walking track. It's awesome. A habitat neighborhood, basically. But people donate property, or can donate property that estate property or anything like that. They've got something that they don't want to use anymore. They can donate that property to be used for a habitat home. Is that correct?
They can, yes. We have people call and say they have property that they want to donate. What will happen is someone will go out and look at it, or we'll have some of the board members go out and look at it, and they'll take some pictures, and then the board will decide whether we're going to take it or not. And the only reason for that is some property is not buildable if it's if it's too wet or that kind of thing. So they'll go look at it. But we do have property donated to us. The city has donated property to us, and I think we own 13 lots right now, is what Suzanne said. So.
Wow.
And the 48 is going in Adams Park, where you said, where you talked about.
Yeah.
That's a great neighborhood, isn't it?
It is a nice looking little neighborhood there, and a lot of little habitat families. So great place. In the future, what kind of future plans? Looking ahead, we've seen the past 20 years of habitat in Etowah County. What kind of future plans are you guys looking at?
Well, right now it's all about sustainability, but we would like to grow. I think that in the past, Suzanne has said that they had built 5 houses in a year was the maximum that they've done. But we would really like to build as many houses as there is a need for and go ahead and sustain and grow. There's some interesting things happening with Habitat all around. Some Habitat affiliates have a restore, which is I guess what would you compare it to? Surplus property
store,
doors and that kind of
Yeah.
architectural things that you can go to. I just saw an article, Auburn does the 20K house is what they call it. And the houses, they have their architectural department design homes that can be built for $20,000. And they're kind of cool, like the tiny homes, but they're a little bit bigger than the tiny homes. So, who knows? We'll look and investigate, and you never know what'll happen.
All kinds of opportunities for advancement and growth there. Well, let's talk about the Dragon Boat Festival. This thing, I don't know where the idea came from, but everybody's like, dragon boats? What in the world is Suzanne talking about when she's talking about dragon boats? And then next thing we know, we have thousands of people on the Coosa River paddling dragon boats and they're putting their teams together and competing. Facebook is just blowing up with it. And it's turned out to be a lot of fun and a big support for Habitat.
It is a big support. That is, I think they decided to do just one big fundraiser rather than a lot of little ones. And although it's a lot of work, they have a lot of volunteers and a lot of help. And I believe they probably got it down to a science now.
Yeah.
We've just done the 4th one, but it's amazing. I encourage everybody, if they haven't come out to see it, if you haven't paddled, just come out for the day and watch it. It's great. They do a whole athletes village. So all the teams, there's 21 people on a team plus 3 alternates. So you have 20 people paddling at one time, a drummer that sits up on a little tiny stool backwards, so that's a precarious position. And then you paddle, 250 meters, I want to say?
Something like that.
Well, it doesn't seem like it'd be a lot. I've paddled 3 times. It's further than you think. You wouldn't think a minute could get you so worn out. But you come out, you form your team, you practice once with a coach the week before, and then everybody decorates their tents the day of the event. There's music there, prizes, it's a great day. It's a great day on the Coosa River and a great use of the Coosa River.
Yeah, absolutely. In the park down there. And it happens, what is it, the 3rd weekend in August, 2nd or 3rd weekend in August?
It's August 20th, 2016. We just set the date. So yeah, save the date. Mark, we'll see you. Have you paddled?
I have not paddled because you do not want me getting one of those little bitty skinny boats. I'm wider than the boat is.
No, you're not.
So I'm afraid to rock the ballast would not work out exactly right there.
They'll say you can't really tip it over, but then in the next breath, they give you about 10 minutes of instructions on what to do if you tip over. So I thought, I don't know. I'm not buying it. I think it can tip. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've been there and watched it and filmed it, and it is a lot of fun to watch too. So we'll do another quick break and be back with a quick wrap up in just a moment. Hang with us. Welcome back. Our final segment of East Alabama today. We're talking with Tami Brooks, the new executive director of the Gadsden-Etowah Habitat for Humanity. And Tami, just contact information. What's the best way to get in touch with you guys to find out what's going on?
You can give us a call, 543-1898. Of course, that's 256, or Gadsdenhabitat.com.
Okay.
I kind of stumbled on that there a little bit. Gadsdenhabitat.com. That's hard to say. Say it 3 times fast.
Yeah,
you can't
absolutely.
do it. And then, of course, Facebook. We're on social media. Facebook. We're starting an Instagram. All kinds of stuff. So that's an easy way to find out about us, too.
Yeah, and with anything else, you can just, if you didn't get any of that, just go to Google. And search it, and it'll bring up every piece of contact information that you could possibly want for Gadsden-Etowah Habitat for Humanity. Currently working on house number 48, and I'm sure we'll have when you do the the key ceremony and turning that over. That's always, as you mentioned, that's always a special time.
Super.
So I'm sure we'll be a part of that as well. And Tami, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Congratulations on the new position. And we'll be working very closely with you over the next several years.
Very exciting.
Thank you very much. And folks, thank you for being with us as well here on East Alabama Today. Hope you have a great day today. And we'll be back with you next time.